Welcome to Business Credit 101, um, a live online webinar designed to break down the fundamentals of building business credit the right way, using your EIN and not your social security number. All right. So, glad y'all can make it. Um, we're gonna share my screen so we get going. How about that? All right. My name is Noel A. Booker Sr. with Business Credit Builder .us. Good application. All right, we're going to talk about business credit and how to build business credit. All right, this is 101. So I'm going to go over some brief stuff about business credit, the stuff that you need to know from the beginning. Okay. Um, let's see. You should be able to see my screen now, but let me hook it up a little bit. Okay. Business Credit 101. How to get business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social with no personal credit check. Okay. Once again, my name is Noel A. Booker Sr. with Business Credit Builder .us. That's the website. Take that down. Check out the contact information. And I got these buttons at the bottom, right? So that green button is how you can get a free guide on how to build business credit. Just go to businesscreditbuilder.us slash free guide. All right. If you think you want to talk to me about the services that we provide, just go to businesscreditbuilder.us slash consult and schedule a free business credit consultation. And if you think you qualify for funding now, go to slash get funding. All right. Okay. There's some background on me. Basically, I'm a regular dude, but I went to Morehouse, did some accounting work. But I started in a company called MediaNet USA. And actually, we just relaunched MediaNet USA. And what MediaNet USA does is websites, accounting and websites. So now I'm a Intuit QuickBooks Pro Advisor. And so we just redid the website, and that website is MediaNetUSA.us. I also speak about business credit. Okay. So, what is business credit? Business credit is credit that is obtained in a business name. With business credit, the business builds its own credit profile and credit score for its EIN number. This credit is in the business name and is based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owner's ability to pay. With an established credit profile and score, the business will then qualify for credit. The business can qualify for revolving store credit cards like Staples, Lowe's, Sam's Club, Costco, BP, Walmart, even MasterCard, Visa, and American Express, and also auto financing. The business can also qualify for credit lines and loans using its business credit. Okay? Because, like, as an individual, let's say you go buy a car as an individual. Well, in order to get a loan for this car, they're going to want to know the three C's: credit, cash, collateral. So if you go to a dealership, try to get a car, one, they want to know, you got a job? How much money you making? Let me see your check stub, right? That's cash flow. Two, they want to know if you got some collateral. That's how much money you can put down. All right? You're going to put some stake in the game, right? And they want to know if you got some credit. If your credit's good enough, you don't have to put no money down, right? So it's the same thing if you approach a lender as a business. The business needs to show, hey, the business makes money. The business got some collateral, and the business got some credit, business credit. Okay, they want to see that the business can pay bills. Okay, can you get business credit? Business credit is the only financial solution you can get regardless of cash flow, collateral, or credit. Okay? This means any business can obtain it, even nonprofits and even startups. Why business credit is awesome. Okay, with business credit, it doubles your borrowing ability because you have, with your social security number, you have ability to have credit on your social security number, right? But as a business, you build business credit on your EIN number. So that's two lines of that doubles your ability of gaining money, all right? Getting access to money. Okay. It makes you more lendable. Okay. So when a lender sees that your business can pay, that it pays bills on time, which means they look at your credit report and they want to see trade lines where you have paid on time. Okay. Just like in the personal world, they want to see that you got some credit. Well, when they're looking at that credit, they're looking at how many accounts does he have? What makes up this credit, right? Okay. You can be issued a failing score for your business, even if you have no credit reporting, because you look unestablished or possibly on the verge of filing bankruptcy. Okay, so this is what happens, right? Let's say you're a brand new company. You just registered with the state with the Secretary of State, right? Now, when these business credit reporting agencies know that you exist and they don't see anything on your credit report, then they're going to give you a negative score. Okay. So you will have bad credit from the get go, right? But the good thing is that you can easily change that, right? So when you have nothing on your credit report, they're giving you a bad report already, okay? So if you look, this right here, what I'm showing you is from ex, Experian. They have the IntelliScore, right? Okay. Okay. Even one account reporting, which you can get immediately after this presentation, I'm going to show you. You could go from no score to a failing score, or I'm sorry, you can go from no score or a failing score to a great score to become more lendable. Okay. As you continue to grow your credit, the business reporting agencies recommend you for more and more money, helping you get higher approvals on business credit cards, loans, and credit lines. Okay. So, this screen here is showing you that this person, the top portion, it shows that they got three trade lines and their score is a 74, right? And then below is showing when this same company has a whole bunch of trade lines and now their score is a 96. And business credit scores go from 0 to 100. So this company is in good position right here because they have all of these trade lines. You see that? Okay. It has nothing to do with your personal credit. Okay. The only legal way to have two credit profiles is to build credit on your EIN number. Okay. Um, Fast initial establishment of credit profile and score. So, what's that really saying is that it's real easy to start your credit profile. Let's say you're a brand new business, you don't have nothing, right? Now you need to start a credit profile, all right? And it's easy to do that, okay? Um, Now, with personal credit, there are five factors that affect your personal credit. That's the payment history, utilization, length of credit, accumulation of new credit, and the credit mix. You see, payment history and utilization take up 65% of the whole score, with utilization 30%, which is significant. All right. With business credit, scores are based on only one main factor, and that's how you pay your bills. All right. So at Dun and Bradstreet, they have the pay debt score, and the pay debt score goes from 0 to 100. Okay, and you see the rating here. If you're looking at the screen, you see the ratings here. So these scores are based on payment history. Okay, expect payment may come early. That means you're getting 100. If you're paying your bills early, which means you're paying your bills within 14 days. Okay. If you pay your bills between the 15th day and the 30th day, then you're paying it on time. If you pay it after the 30th day on a net 30 account, then you're paying it late. Okay. And you see how the scores rate on down, right? You always want to make sure your payday score is 80 or above. Okay? No personal liability. Business credit approvals are 10 to 100 times higher than consumer approvals. So when you get approved for a loan for a business, it's going to be more than what it would be for a person. Okay? Um, Business credit is perfect for startups. Okay. And also, if your business is already existing, then you should have business credit already built into the operation of your business so that business credit is automatic. Okay. And that's what I do. I show you how to make your business have business credit automatic in the operation of your business. Okay. No cash flow requirements. So, in order to build business credit, you don't need to have cash flow. But hold on. Let me back that up. Okay. You do need some cash flow. You because in building business credit from let's say from scratch, you're building business credit from scratch, right? You need to buy an item that's at least $50 and pay it in 30 days. This is how we're gonna start, right? And you're going to do that. A good rate of building up business credit is like about three trade lines a month. So each month you're getting about three trade lines. Now you can build business credit faster than that, and you can build business credit slower than that. So although on your preference, right? But I just wanted to clarify that you do need some cash flow to build business credit because you're buying stuff and you're making payments on it in order for the business credit reporting agencies to report these payments. So on your business credit report, there are on-time payments. Okay. With business credit, you have a competitive advantage compared to other businesses that don't even have business credit. Okay. No collateral requirements are required. Okay. To build business credit. Okay. Business credit is easier to grow a business. Okay. It's easier to grow a business with business credit because you can use your business credit to operate, to fund things before you need to pay for it. You go make the money and then pay the bill, right? So it's easier to grow a business. Every highly successful business in America has business credit. Okay. Now, what you're looking at now is what anybody can see for free. Okay. Um, this is on the Experian website. There's a place where you can put your business name and your business address in. Right. And this is for Facebook. They're from Menlo Park, California. But the part that I want to bring to your attention is the trade lines. You see that? They got 40 trade lines. Now let's go over what a trade line is. A trade line is when you get an account from a business, right? A credit account. So now you can buy something on credit, right? So you buy something on credit, then you get the item, but you ain't paid for it yet. They give you an invoice and tell you when to pay it, right? So when you pay it, what happens is this company sends a report to the business credit reporting agencies. Then they put the business credit reporting agencies put this on your credit profile. Okay. Now the report says XYZ company, they got an account with us. Their limit is X amount of dollars. They made a purchase and they paid it off in X amount of days. They send it to the business credit reporting agencies. They put it on your credit profile. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one trade line. Now, if you make more transactions, you buy more stuff, then those are called experiences. Experiences are good. Anytime you make a positive experience, that's helping out, right? All right. So look at this one. This one is Dell. They got 83 trade lines. You see that? Okay. And Microsoft, 131. Apple, 138. Pilot, 153. Publix, 171. Now, Walmart, check it out. Walmart, they're like the king of business credit. They got 513 trade lines. And this is what Walmart does. 80% of all the revenue that Walmart takes in comes from business credit. So what they do is they'll go to Bounty and say, Bounty, let me get a truckload of toilet paper. But the owner don't go in his pocket and pay for this. He don't call the accounting department and say, yo, cut me a check. The toilet paper, the truckload of toilet paper will show up at the store, put it on the shelf. We go buy it. They take our money, pay the bill. Then they keep doing that over and over, right? So then you pay that on time. Then they say, here's 5 truckloads. Do that again. All right. All right. So that's how business is done with business credit at the big corporate level and at the small business level, at the corner store. When they're getting the bread delivery, they're not paying for that bread. They're counting how many units came in, how many units went out. At the big corporate level, at the small business level. Okay. New businesses can get business credit too. Okay. Okay. How do you build business credit? Okay, we're gonna go over the quick steps of how to build business credit. Make sure your business is set up credibly. Now, of the steps to build business credit, making sure your business is set up credibly is the most important piece. Okay? You got to start with your name. You go to the Secretary of State and you register your business name. When you register your business name, they're going to ask you to select an entity. What you need to know is when you select your entity, if you select a, a proprietorship or a partnership, then you are personally liable for whatever happens with this business. So you need to set it up as a LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, or a corporation, which will separate your liability from you personally. Okay, that's what you need to know. Your business address. The business address is crucial. All right. There are three options for the business address. One is have a brick and mortar. The second option is to have a virtual office address. If you go to my website, businesscreditbuilder.us/vendors, you'll see Da Vinci virtual office. That's what I suggest for a virtual office. The third option is use your home address. But I'm gonna tell you that lenders and creditors do not perceive home-based businesses as being credible, but they do this on a case-by-case basis, right? So like if you're doing hair from the house, that seems credible because all they want to know is are they going to get paid? So if you set up a business from in your home and you can pay the bill, that's cool. Now, on the other side of that is let's say you're a trucking company, but then they see that your office is at the house. So um where are you keeping all these trucks, right? Because one thing to know is that on your Dun and Bradstreet credit report is a Google Maps picture of your business address. So they're looking right at they're looking right at your front door when they're deciding to give you money. Okay. And they're just trying to figure out what the risk is, right? Does this look right? I call this the smell test. They're like sniffing around to see this, and on the application, all they're doing is sniffing around to see if you look like you might be able to pay the bill. Okay? You got to have an EIN number. You go to irs.gov, get your EIN number. Um, you can't build business credit without it, and it's free. Telephone number. This is what you need to know about your telephone number. You need to have a local telephone number that is listed with the National 411 directory. It cannot be a cell phone number. It cannot be a home telephone line. Okay? You can use one of them VoIP numbers. I suggest using Freedom Voice. You can go to businesscreditbuilder.us/vendors and you can see the telephone number and stuff for Freedom Voice. Your business bank account, you need a business bank account. So once you got your certificate from the Secretary of State and you got your EIN number, your certificate from the Secretary of State takes about 3 weeks, depending on what state you're in. And the EIN number you get right away, right? It takes you 15 minutes to get that. So when you got those two items, you go to the bank. You don't walk to the bank, you run to the bank, right? Because the longer you got your business bank account, the more fundable you are. So once you're ready to get that bank account, don't wait. All right, get it right away. Okay, you need an email and a website for your business. Do not use your Google. email. Don't use a free email service. You need a website, yourcompany.com. Your email should be your name at your web, yourcompany.com, right? It's common sense stuff, but it's good to know that it's not a good look to do business with your free email. Okay. Um, Licenses and other documents. So whatever whatever documents or licenses you have in your business name, make sure it's correct, right? The most common mistakes businesses have is they got the license that they need, but they got an old address on there. That could get you denied. And they don't have to tell you why they deny you. That's why all this credibility stuff is so important. Okay? Your business listing congruency. Get set up with the business credit reporting agencies and get your reports. Okay, so you got to get these reports. The reason why you got to get these business credit reports is because as you're getting those trade lines, you want to make sure that they're sending this information to the business credit reporting agencies accurately and timely. And they don't do that well. Okay. A lot of my time with my clients is fixing stuff or chasing down trade lines, correcting stuff. Okay. So they don't do that well. Okay. So it's real important that you get these credit reports, right? They cost about $100 a month per agency, right? And there's three agencies: Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. These are the three most popular business credit reporting agencies. Okay, so and these business credit reporting agencies, they're in business to collect information, restructure it, and then they sell it. And to us, they'll be selling us the business credit report, right? So that's what they do, is the information. And it's important. It's not good to build. You can't build business credit good without looking at this credit report and determining what the lenders are looking at. You see, before you apply, you want to know, because they're gonna pull your credit report and they don't need to ask you permission. You would need to know what's on that credit report before they do, before they look. You want to know, right? All right. Okay, business credit reports are provided by Dun& and Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. Okay. Get approved for vendor credit. Okay. Now that we got those, so far we talked about setting up your business credible, right? Name, address, telephone number. Then we talked about the business credit reporting agencies, right? So now we can actually start building business credit, all right? And I want to say that building business credit is a step-by-step process. Each step is needed for the next step. So you can't skip steps, okay? Vendors offer net 10, net 15, net 30. Let's just go for these net 30s, right? We're going to look for net 30 accounts, which means we're gonna this is not easy, right? So now we gotta find companies that's gonna give us credit when we have no credit. On top of that, they gotta report to the business credit reporting agencies, and only 10% of all businesses in the United States even report to the business credit reporting agencies because they're under high restrictions and guidelines to be able to even report. Okay? You'll need to find vendors who do report and who will approve you even with no established credit now. So they're gonna give you a little bit of credit, And then when you buy something on credit, you need to pay it in 30 days. Okay. When I tell people to start building business credit, I tell them that the first goal is to get 5 accounts, three of them for Dun and Bradstreet, one to Experian, and one that reports to Equifax. Okay, so like when you get these accounts, you got to know who they report to. Okay, so that way you'll know what report to pull to see when you make that payment. I hope that makes sense. Okay, you must start a business credit profile and score with starter vendors. Starter vendors are ones who will give you initial credit even if you have no credit, no score, or trade lines now. Most stores like Staples will not give you initial credit. So don't even start trying at these other companies, right? You got to get these net 30 accounts, right? And they're hard to find. Staples and stuff like that, Staples, Home Depot, BP, all of them, they need you to have credit already. That's why I said this is a step-by-step process. The first step is to get these starter vendors. And here goes some starter vendors right now. Uline, Coast to Coast, Office Supply, that's a new one. Maverick Office Supply, JJ Gold, Granger. These are all good starter vendors. And I'm gonna tell you, these starter vendors, they change because they change their underwriting guidelines. So the list I had 6 months ago is not the same list that I'm reciting to you today. Because like that coast to coast is new. Some other ones dropped off, and I added more others, right? So these change all the time because I'm a franchise with Credit Suite. We have a team that's always looking for these vendors, so we know when what vendors are and what their underwriting guidelines are. That's the key piece. Because if you build business credit on your own, and let's say you go to a company and say, well, what do I need to qualify? What they're going to tell you is fill out this application and I'll tell you if you qualify. They're not going to tell you what they need for to get to approve you. We know that already though, okay? Get approved for revolving credit. Once you got those five, the next step is to get approved for revolving credit. Okay? Once 5 trade lines are established, using the vendor accounts, obtaining revolving accounts is the next step. Revolving accounts are cards a business owner can use and not be required to pay the full balance owed each month. Okay? Most stores will not approve a business owner for business credit unless the owner has an established credit profile and score just like in the consumer world. Vendor accounts must be used first to establish a profile and score. Then store credit can be obtained. It usually takes about 90 days or less to establish a score and profile with trade lines. Okay. Here goes some major stores that do offer business credit, but you just can't run up on these. You got to have credit already, and some of them need you to be in business a certain amount of time. All right. Home Depot, Lowe's, Office Depot, Staples, Best Buy, Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, Amazon, Dell, BP, Chevron. See, some businesses, this is all they need to even start their business. Somebody might need just a gas card, you know what I mean, and a Best Buy card or a Home Depot card, right? And an Amazon card, right? So you can get that, right? And start running your business. And this is where I'm talking about. You can like say you're a truck driver. You need some gas. So now you go fill up your truck, right, with a gas card. You go make the run and then get paid. then you didn't need to spend money for the gas up front, right? You see how that works? Business credit, business to business. Okay. Get approved for store credit, Staples, Lowe's, Chevron, all of those. Best Buy. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? You can do it step by step. You can get these, okay? And the more trade lines you have, the better. You want to get on your credit report, you want to get up to 10 trade lines on your credit report, okay? That tells that tells a lender or creditor that hey, they got credit. They paying bills on time. And you have total control of this. Oh snap. Hold on 1 second. This is not my shit. Hey, yes, call me back. You know what? I think that was a scheduled thing I've had. I thought it was I didn't think I overlapped that schedule. Okay, let's get this over with. Okay, once 10 accounts are on your credit, and owners can then start applying for Visa, Mastercard, and American Express type of credit. Approval amounts will be equivalent to the highest credit limit account on the business report. Try to have 10 accounts with at least one of them having a high $10,000 high limit. All right. So when you get these revolving accounts, what you want to do is pick one of them and use it more often. When they see you making on-time payments, what I usually do is I make a payment 3 times or make it 3 transactions, pay it on time, then I call them back, and then you ask for an increase in your limit. And you keep asking them for increases. Okay? You keep asking them for increases, and they will increase you if you're paying on time. Okay. Continue applying for more credit you can use to grow your business. As you get approved, continue using that credit regularly. Pay your bills timely. Always use, always buy using credit instead of cash. Then pay off the credit. Okay? Don't forget to leave the social security number field blank on the applications. Okay? Now, before we get out of here, I'm going to give you 3 ways to get funding that your bank won't tell you about. Cash flow financing is the most popular type of alternative funding today. All right, I'm just going to run these off the top of my head, right? Cash flow funding is not for everybody. It's for existing businesses that have come into a situation, right? And all businesses come into situations. You might need to make payroll Friday. You might have a piece of equipment that went down. You need to repair it. They need cash like immediately. And this is what they do, right? So these are for existing businesses with a problem. Cash flow financing. Um, my cash flow financing lending partner is David Allen Capital. You can find it on my website, businesscreditbuilder.us in the business loans section. Okay. Um, collateral-based financing. Collateral-based financing can be obtained if you have some type of viable collateral to offset what you're borrowing. Okay. You could be a startup with bad credit. You can still secure collateral-based financing. Okay. Here are some types of collateral. Okay. Accounts receivable. Accounts receivable is also known as factoring. So that's when That's when a business can group and batch their invoices and sell them. You'll get paid in 24 hours, right? And boom, that's how like freight companies in, businesses that can group and sell their invoices. They use factoring, accounts receivable. Purchase orders are for businesses that have government contracts. So if you have a government contract, you can't go in a bank and get a business loan. But there are alternative lending sources that will take that contract, that government contract, and say, hey, I know that check is going to clear. So they're going to give you a loan. Like you go in there and say, hey, I got this government contract. All I need to do is have this piece of equipment and I'll get the money. Boom. They like that. All right. Stocks, bonds, 401ks. If you got some stuff, some investments like that, you can get a business loan. Holla at your boy. Revenue lending, um, inventory and equipment. If you got $100,000 worth of stuff, inventory or equipment, boom, you can get a business loan. If you have equity in your home, you can get a business loan. Insurance agents have what they call a book of business, which is a list of their clients. They can get a business loan on that. Okay. And here goes my most popular product right here is the credit line hybrid program. It's for people that got good personal credit. Okay. So if you got good personal credit, like a 685 or above, this is how it works. They look at your personal credit. It needs to be a 685 or above. Then they look at the highest revolving limit, which means like, for example, let's say on your personal, you got a Home Depot card and it got a $30,000 limit on it, let's just say, right? So this program will look at that and give you up to 5 credit cards with $30,000 on it, not to exceed $150,000, and you can get that in 3 weeks. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, that's the quick version of that. But you go to my website and go to get funding, go to business loan, the business loan section, or you can just go to businesscreditbuilder.us/get funding, and you can fill out the application right there on the website. Okay. Um, we also have access to private money, all right? If you have good tax returns, venture capital and equity financing, crowdfunding, and you can even get specialized funding to buy equipment, signs, and vehicle wraps. Okay? Now, if you think you need some help with any of this stuff, schedule a free business credit consultation by going to businesscreditbuilder.us. I hope this little instructional video was useful. People that's watching this on YouTube, if y'all got questions, if you're in the chat right now, Makiba, if you got any questions, this is your time to ask your questions. If you're watching this on YouTube, put your questions in the chat. I'm gonna respond to them. I'm gonna be checking for them. Okay. Also put in the chat what type of business you have and where you from. I want to know all that stuff. All right. If you got some questions, let me know. Um, Makiba, you got any questions? You can open up your mic or you can type whatever's up, right? But I hope I ain't waste your time. Business Credit 101. The website is businesscreditbuilder.us. Um, for businesses that want to learn um, about QuickBooks Online, in my events page, I got a webinar coming up about that. But check out my events page because the events page got all the upcoming webinars, and we do this about once a week on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock. All right. So that's how we do it. we're gonna get out of here. If y'all ain't got no questions, let's see. Yeah, so yeah, that's how it goes down. Check out the page for the events, the upcoming events at the website, right? Um, get your free guide on how to build business credit, and that puts you on my email list. And if you get on the email list, you get a whole bunch of stuff. All right? All right. Um, oh, thank you, Makiba. She said, great information. Don't have any questions. She's out in Vegas. Word, Vegas. Yeah, I got stories out in Vegas. Gonna have to stay in Vegas. Okay? And you do tax, huh? Okay. Thank you for coming. All right. Call me if you got any questions. If you need some help with bookkeeping or getting access to loans, right? If you want to get another location, stuff like that. All right. All right, Joe. Thank y'all for coming. Peace out.